Welcome to the Social Podcast, where no discussion or debate is off limits.
Hey, happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Social. It's so fitting that we are welcoming back comedian, television personality, and author Rick Mercer today.
Thank you very much.
We are delighted to have you.
Delighted, and quickly, because Canada knows and loves Rick, but Canada, you are represented here. 7 provinces in the audience today.
Okay.
From BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Ontario, Newfoundland, Quebec, Sudbury in the house, and Michigan.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here.
Proud Canadians. Well, we're starting with a person who irritates most Canadians. He is Donald Trump, who didn't exactly get a warm welcome at the U.S. Open men's final on Sunday. Okay, so there's a bit of booing going on there, and ABC and ESPN didn't filter out the crowd's reaction despite being asked by the U.S. Tennis Association to censor any disruptions or reactions to Trump's appearance. So, Rick, are you surprised by the USTA's request to broadcasters to sort of cut that out?
No, I think the word censor is a little harsh, actually.
Okay.
I do. I think that this is a notoriously fickle, tricky crowd. And anytime a politician, no matter how divisive they are, is put on the screen, it's always risky. I think it would be very problematic if they had superimposed cheers or applause. That would be a problem. Turning the sound down, not so much of a problem.
Okay, all right.
Richard Hatfield, who was a very contentious premier of New Brunswick, said if you appear at a sporting event, you do so with a Girl Guide and a brownie in each hand.
And a puppy.
That's when the booing disappears.
And a puppy, right?
Interesting. Good point. Good point.
Interesting. What do you think, Andrea?
I think the question is not so much the censoring. It's like, why did he show up? Why is he there? Because there hasn't been a sitting president at the U.S. Open Final since 2000, and that was Bill Clinton. That's 25 years ago. So why this president and why now? Well, I always say, follow the money. So where was Trump sitting? Well, he was sitting in Rolex's suite. Rolex is one of the main sponsors of the U.S. Open. Well, why is that important? Well, I'm going to tell you. According to reports, Trump's tariffs on European countries have had a major impact on, guess who? Rolex's business. And the brand has a major interest in convincing Trump to reduce his high tariffs on Switzerland. So now you get it, right? It's like, listen, we're the main sponsors, so we can tell all the broadcasters, you need to tamp down all that booing because we need to make him feel comfortable because we got to get him to lay off the tariffs because it's hurting us. And if we're hurt, then we're not going to be able to sponsor events like this that everybody enjoys watching.
Interesting.
Follow the money.
the money.
Every single time you'll find the answer. So
Yeah.
I think that's what that's
I'm not surprised at all. What I am surprised at is that this is the very first time in U.S. Tennis Association history that they've ever sent any kind of directive like this to any media outlet. So I think that is really, I know you said censorship is a hard word, but it's a real slippery and perhaps a sharp slope from democracy to losing a democracy. I actually really truly believe that we are witnessing the slow and steady end of democracy in the United States as we all knew it. And where does that, this is giving Putin. This is giving Kim Jong-un. This is giving Xi Jinping. Because what do those countries do? They control the media.
But we don't know for sure that it's his administration that asked for this, right?
No, they actually said on paper, we did not ask for this.
Okay.
But does he have to? He's already, in my opinion, ended Stephen Colbert's career or coming. He's already booted some of the top news outlets, most respected news outlets out of the White House. You remember that? Associated Press? Yeah, they were in the hallway. Actually, no, they were outside the fence. They didn't even get an office. So he has already shown he will weaponize his power against the media when he wants to. So he doesn't even have to ask. That's my opinion. He doesn't even have to
I
ask.
totally agree with you.
I mean, he definitely,
Yep.
It's scary to me.
So what you're saying is you feel like he doesn't even, now he's established, he's got all these major broadcasters that are terrified, and so they're going to do whatever they can. Are we headed in that direction? Rick, do you think that's true?
Yeah, they don't want to upset him.
Okay.
Clearly, he's not someone... No, that's not a good thing. It's a very worrisome thing. Yeah. And I don't think that, going back to the Richard Hatfield thing, I think there's worse things than presidents or premiers or prime ministers being booed at a sporting event. It's something that usually people in that position can handle. You have to have a certain thick skin in order to get that.
He
well,
doesn't.
he absolutely doesn't.
Yeah,
no, I know. He absolutely doesn't. So this is why they've absolutely said,
Wow.
get out. turn up the suck.
Yeah.
That's true.
Interesting.
Okay, everybody, we're going to stick with sports. Anybody know who Peyton Manning is? Football great. Football great. Football great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we have discovered he likes to shoot a shot because he aimed really high and tried to book a divine cameo for his show, The Manning Cast. His Holiness Pope Leo XIV. Yeah, okay? So take a look at what happened.
I tried my hardest. Can we show the letter? Look at these 2 handwritten letters I wrote. I wrote His Holiness himself, and I wrote his executive assistant. Handwritten. I made the effort. Look, these are handwritten letters, and if you're watching, Your Holiness, this is an open invitation. Come on the show anytime.
Now, why? Like, why is he trying to lure Pope Leo onto his show? Well, this was after the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears game. And the Pope, if you didn't know, is a huge sports fan who hails from Chicago, hence the Bears.
Smart.
Okay, Andrea, are you a shoot your shot kind of gal?
Of course, shoot your shot every single time, and I applaud those 2 men. And actually, I'm so glad we're talking about this because I want to take this opportunity to thank you, Rick Mercer, for giving me the confidence. Well, not you specifically, all white men.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. Whether they were in school with me or we worked together, I watched the confidence they had. Whether they had the experience or the knowledge or not, they always went and they'd shoot their shot. And while the rest of everybody's like, how come he's over there? I'm like, yeah, but he was shooting his shot, and we didn't because we were so concerned about not being ready or not being the right fit that they did it, and now they're there, and we're all complaining. So now, whenever I think about, well, no, they shouldn't go, no, just think about Rick Mercer. What would Rick Mercer do? Rick Mercer would shoot a shot.
Listen,
Someone shoot my shot, so I love it.
My entire career, I found myself in situations shooting my shot. Like I would say, I famously went skinny dipping with Bob Ray on television when he was running for the leadership of the Liberal Party. What? I had to look at Bob and say, will you get naked and jump in this lake? While he was trying to be prime minister. What? That's shooting your shot.
That is.
Wow.
Who else would
That
do
would
that?
not happen today.
No.
I bet.
I love that.
And I'm heading out on the road, and I needed someone off the top of the show to announce, you're going to turn off your cell phones and stuff. And I said, there's one person in the world I want to do that. And I shot my shot, and I'm not telling you who it is. You have to come to the show.
And you're making my
That's
point.
what you got to do.
You're making my point.
Wow.
Shoot it.
The worst thing anyone is ever going to say is
No.
Or nothing.
And
What
there's a
happens when
very
it's
good
nothing?
chance that this man who became the Pope, that was number 2. Number 1 is he wants to go talk football on American television. That wasn't an option when he was a cardinal or whatever he was 6 minutes ago.
Yep.
You don't know that that's not a bucket list for the Pope.
That's true.
Why, of course.
I just think, you shoot your shot, you have one of 3 options, right? You shoot your shot, you get what you want, which sounds like you did with Bob Ray. Or you shoot your shot and they say no, fine. Or you shoot your shot and they just ignore you. And that for me is a low-key resentment point.
Yeah.
It's just at least, I don't know, that to me is where I get sad.
Yeah,
You're a shoot your shot kind of person.
No, I'm not a shoot my shot kind of person, actually. I'm a firstborn. We are risk-averse people. I shoot my shot when I have a guaranteed win.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Okay. In business, I can understand because as a firstborn, you're cautious. But when it
Yes.
comes to I know you're married, but when it comes to a good-looking man,
Oh, no, love is different. Love is different.
You're shooting that
Very quick
shot.
story. This show was a shoot my shot. It was 2010, and I said, you know what Canada needs? Canada needs a female Canadian panel-led talk show. And I went up to the 5th floor. I went up to the 5th floor in this building, and I went to the president and said, we need a Canadian female talk show. 3 years later, The Social was born. So there it was.
So you do shoot your shot. You do shoot your shot. So if you ever feel awkward at the thought of a stranger giving you a massage, this could be a solution. That's a robot masseuse going to town on someone's back. Now, according to the website, a 30-minute session will cost you just $60. So the question we're asking is, would you get a massage from a robot masseuse? No. Not one yes in the crowd. I love that. Cyn, what do you think?
Listen, I would try almost anything once. I definitely think this isn't that weird. When you think about when you sit down in a chair at a nail salon, you already kind of have a version of this if you put on one of those chairs, right?
Okay.
This is just a next level to that. I think the only thing that I maybe don't like about this is that I think we need that kind of skin-to-skin touch, not to sound like a weirdo, but I think you actually, part of the pleasure is not, when you go to get a massage, is not just working out the knots. It's actually that you're getting the oxytocin that you get from like actual skin to skin touch, right? Like,
but there are some people who wouldn't want that, right?
Sure.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I say this because a very good friend of mine, her name is Amanda Thebes. She is like a fitness guru, menopause champion. She recently did this, and she had this video that she put up, and I called her right away, and I said, tell me everything about your experience. And she did this, and she said, I'll tell you something, she loved it. She
Really?
absolutely loved it. And not because she wants to replace humans. She said, this is another option. So going back to your point, Cynthia, if people have experienced trauma, they might not be comfortable with someone having their hands on them.
That's fair.
They might not be comfortable getting naked. You know you're down to your skivvies when
Yeah.
you're doing this. Her son is autistic, and he's got a real issue with this, so with some humans touching him. He said, Mom, I want to do this.
Wow.
So that's great.
Yeah.
It's a fraction of the cost.
Yep.
They don't burn out. They don't need breaks, you know? But they said that in that spa where she did that, the humans were still the busiest. So people are not running to the robots. It's just another option.
yeah.
Okay, what do you think, Rick? You want to get rode down by a robot?
Does the robot know my safe word?
Good question.
Fair question.
Fair question.
Fair.
I hate the idea. I'm just, listen, I go to my parents' house. They've got one of those cheapo Filippo things that sits on the chair and it rubs the back of my lower back. Yeah. But I hate all of this stuff. Like when people say, oh, don't worry, it will, the human masseuses are still the busiest. Well, that's the way it was when the electronic checkout started. Mm-hmm. There was only 2. Yeah. Now you go into Shoppers, there's 9.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just a matter of time until the masseuses, the electronic robots take over the world.
Have you ever been on a cruise ship? Because they have like
No.
Yeah, that's another thing.
And
But
I've
they
never
have-
done that either.
They have like a robot bartender on some.
And how good is that robot
No, it's
bartender?
always sloppy. It's always on the fritz.
Exactly.
So you don't want
well,
that.
for safety reasons, I'm never going to be in a room by myself with a robot. I'm just not doing it. I don't know about you, but that's not relaxing me at all. I'm more stressed out at the thought of that. But I'm thinking about my girlfriend, Michelle, who's a registered massage therapist, and she has 3 kids, and she takes care of her mother, and she's a homeowner, and I'm not doing anything that's gonna put another human out of work. I'm not just thinking about her, but everybody in her world. And if we get too comfortable with this, we're gonna eliminate it. It hasn't started yet, but eventually AI is going to, and technology will get rid of all of these jobs, and we have to wake up and pay attention. So I will continue to have lots of awkward conversations with my face down with the masseuse, because I appreciate and want everybody to keep their jobs.
Well, Rick, we love you for the laughs, and you're about to kick off on a coast-to-coast comedy tour.
Yes. Yeah.
This country called Stand Up for Canada. And you would describe the show as a night of laughter where you'll bring, quote, bring Canadians together. And you also say you'll do that with your unapologetically Canadian comedy at a time when the country needs it most. Give us a little snippet.
Well, my act hasn't changed. For my entire career, I've chosen a line that's all about celebrating the country, celebrating what's great about the country, going to one part of the country, talking about another part of the country. I believe that humor can bring us together in ways that almost no other art form can. Using the term art form, a bit of a stretch, granted. But anyway, I just think the time is now for a tour like this. And it's right across the country, from Victoria to St. John's. It's myself and 3 other incredible stand-ups at the top of their game. It's just going to be a great night. And and like I say, it's a celebration of Canada. It's not about, when we say stand up for Canada, it's not about dunking on the States. They're taking care of that themselves. This is about celebrating Canada, and that's what it's all about.
They certainly are. Well,
Yeah.
Rick, thank you so much. Good luck on the tour.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Okay, Rick Mercer's Stand Up for Canada comedy tour kicks off this Thursday. Hey, Saskatoon, he's starting in your backyard. 21 cities nationwide. You can find tickets at admitone.com. It's up on the screen right now.
Subscribe to the Social Podcast so you don't miss a fiery debate. Until next time, socialites.